felon. I'm Dave Anthony.
This will increase turnout on our side. He will win decisively. He will become the next president.
House Speaker Mike Johnson among the many Republicans even more energized by former President Trump's conviction, telling Fox this morning.
He's a symbol of fighting back against this government corruption, the deep state, the bureaucracy, and all the rest.
The Biden campaign, on the other hand, is cashing in on this moment. Quote, there's only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box. Donate to our campaign today.
Now, that's Fox's Brooke Sigmund. The Biden campaign also saying that nobody is above the law. We'll hear from the former president in 3 hours. He said after leaving the courtroom hearing he's guilty 34 times to all the charges.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt.
Sentencing set for July 11th, days before he's set to be nominated for president at the Republican convention. But Trump lawyer Todd Blanche says they'll appeal.
We've been saying for over a year that we couldn't get a fair trial in Manhattan. We couldn't get a fair trial with the judge.
Now, the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg praised the jury and said,
I did my job. Our job is to follow the facts and the law without fear or favor.
Now, the former president was convicted on 34 counts of falsifying records, reimbursing then lawyer Michael Cohen for payments to keep an alleged affair quiet before the 2016 election. Cohen testified for the prosecution and hailed the verdict as what America needs right now. They're mourning a murdered police officer in Minneapolis.
This officer gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Mayor Jacob Fry saying they all lost a hero. Jamal Mitchell ambushed while attending to gunshot victims. The shooter was killed and returned fire. 2 others also died. This is a big deal for Ukraine as Russian forces keep making advances around the city of Kharkiv. Germany today joined the U.S. authorizing Ukraine to use weapons to target Russia. America's listening.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
It's been reported numerous times in recent weeks President Biden is considering taking executive action on the border. The AP reports it could come next week with an order that would deny entry to the U.S. and shut off asylum requests if migrant crossings average 4,000 a day for a week. Republicans have blamed the president for allowing record illegal immigration, so they also blame him for crimes some of the migrants have committed. One accused of murder in Georgia is due in court today.
26-year-old Jose Ibarra is an illegal immigrant. He will be arraigned in the killing of nursing student Laken Riley on the University of Georgia campus. Riley's body was found in a wooded area near the university's intramural fields. She had been out for a jog when she disappeared. Police say she had been beaten to death. Ibarra is from Venezuela. Prosecutors say he crossed illegally into the United States 2 years ago. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
We'll get an update on inflation in about a half hour. A report on what's called personal consumption expenditures. It's an inflation gauge the Federal Reserve tracks closely considering interest rate policy. It's already paused rate cuts planned for this year because annual inflation's been ticking back up in recent months. Wall Street could react to the numbers this morning. For now, stock futures are down modestly after another sell-off for the Dow. The NBA Finals are set.
The Mavericks dominated the Timberwolves in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, beating Minnesota 124-103 to advance to their first finals since 2011. Dallas entered halftime with a 69-40 lead as Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic combined for 44 points in the first half. Game 1 of the finals will tip off on June 6th at 8:30 Eastern in Boston.
That's Fox's Joe Morgan. In hockey, Florida took a 3-2 lead in the NHL Eastern Conference Final with a 3-2 win over the New York Rangers. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. City of Champaign preparing for weekend activities during the summer. The city will temporarily close Market Street between University Avenue and Main Street and Taylor Street between Walnut and Market Streets. The closures will take place today through Sunday. They'll start today and ending October 20th. A Jacksonville man is going to prison for making threats against Joe Biden. Adam Mauser was sentenced to 14 months behind bars after pleading guilty in January. Prosecutors say Mauser used social media to threaten violence against the president, his family, and an unnamed former president, Secretary of State, and various members of Congress. 2 people dead. It follows a murder-suicide in Normal. Police said Matthew Moore and Amy Moore found shot to death in a home in the 3000 block of Red Jasper Street. Investigators believe Matthew illegally entered the home and confronted Amy before shooting her. He then shot and killed himself. The investigation's ongoing. Have a safe, fun weekend. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
ESPN 93.5 weather brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Member FDIC. Meteorologist Greg Solier, good morning to ya.
Good morning, my friend, on a good-looking, comfy morning here in East Central Illinois, the Twin Cities as well. 58 easy to take degrees over at Williams Savoy right now. Just the slightest of an east wind. Lots of sunshine and clear skies. Clouds, though, lurking none too far back to the west. And, a little scattering of shower and thunderstorm activity as well over parts of the upper Midwest, western Corn Belt. Big storms again down through Texas as they ride the hot ridge down across the Rio Grande and points on westward from there. Some of that ridging aloft, the warmth will begin to work northward, and a little boundary sets on up, and that's going to generate some rainfall at times, particularly for the day tomorrow. Much lesser on Sunday. We'll chase the stuff around first half of next week, and another pattern shift into drier weather if you're trying to get caught up out there on the back 40 for later next week. So outside of some serious nearest and overhead, mostly sunny days worth of weather expected here across eastern Illinois and the Twin Cities, up to about 77, right on target for the time of year. Light southeasterly winds. Shower chances well after midnight tonight. Low down to 58. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. Probably some showers, definitely around in the morning. A break. A couple of thunderstorms will get going in spots tomorrow afternoon, and a high near 73. That stuff winds out early tomorrow night, and a low near 60. Good part, if not almost all of the day on Sunday, but generally dry, warm, more humid with a high around 80, and a couple of scattered showers, thunderstorms Monday, back into Tuesday, diminishing Wednesday. High temperatures low to mid-80s. That'll feel pretty good. 60s at night. Good warm start to June. We'll cool it off and dry it out the second half of next week, Thursday and Friday, in the mid to upper 70s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Greg Solier, our meteorologist. We'll hear his forecast all morning long. Got Diane Ducey, got Brother Johnny in town for a day. I don't know how long he's here, actually, but he's here. All right, so the biggest, I'm Stevie Jay. Good morning. Good to have you listening. Biggest story, of course, in the world is Donald Trump. Convicted 34 counts. We have plenty of discussion on that as we go, and again, it's you kind of opened a Pandora's box, I think. And I've got remember Megyn Kelly, formerly Fox, then signed for $23 million to go to NBC, and that fell apart. She got to keep the money, I think. I got a little bit from Megyn Kelly you'll want to hear.
It doesn't sound like it fell apart if she didn't have to do the job and kept the $23 million.
I think usually those deals you're going to keep the money. Yeah. But anyway, she's very prominent on podcasting, and I think she's on Sirius Satellite Radio too.
Okay.
But anyway, I always like her, yeah. Mm-hmm. But she said it's a Pandora's box, and they opened it. And what does that mean?
Well, I think they just basically handed Trump the White House. So I think it's actually a good day. The sad day in America was November 9th, 2020 at about 2:30 in the morning. They stopped all the vote counting, and we're in quite a bind. That was a Pandora's box with that change of all those processes, and trying to put that back's hard enough. And this is just the consequences of it, Steve.
Well, I mean, but what is the consequence of this?
Well, that goes back to getting people like Bragg in office.
But then you got to go back and say,
a guy who runs for office saying, "I'm going to get this guy." But what do you do? I don't know. I'll find something.
It's not an. Regardless if it's evil, if it's not a genius move by George Soros because it's totally working.
Yeah, he played a stealth move on us because nobody was paying attention to those races, and they don't spend a lot on them. And he goes to various
They go
points,
win. But how do they
$500,000 or $1 million bucks
find the right candidate for that? I mean, the major cities, San Francisco, Los Angeles, they've got all these. So thus, crime goes crazy. Well, how does it benefit George Soros?
Well, he wants an open border society or whatever his cause is. Yeah, it's a theory. He's playing a theory, and I don't know, it's a game to him, I suppose.
I mean, but isn't it working?
He's making moves that seem to work for what he wants.
Yeah,
but I don't think it works for the rest.
So I guess the whole play here is America's evil, must break it down, must start again in their own image or whatever that is. And George Soros going to be a globalist, so it's going to be the WHO that's going to make the decisions
that
on
kind of thing.
Okay, so it'll be somebody in Lucerne making a decision on our vaccine
or whatever. Now it'll turn into how much food you can buy at the store too, because you're going to run. People will start working.
Dogs and cats sleeping together, mass hysteria.
Yeah, you could get some pretty sorry scenarios. I think people are like, wow, that is bad. No matter what you think of Trump. To set up something like what we just saw there in New York.
But does anybody know what he was actually charged with? I mean, what was he convicted of, and what was that thing?
Well, believe it or not, and let's start with the fabled Hunter laptop that I'm sick of even hearing about. But they did suppress that so it wouldn't reflect badly on Joe before the election.
That's right.
And that was a group of people in this country. And it was, they just didn't know what it was. But now what Trump was convicted of was having his lawyer pay Stormy Daniels $130,000 to suppress that story that happened 20 years ago so he could be elected president. In other words, they're saying it was election fraud. That's where Bragg said that makes it a felony, and it's a federal law, which the state court really has no jurisdiction.
No, right.
The whole thing is a completely
it will be probably overturned.
It'll 100%.
But it'll be a year?
I think it's going to be overturned in November.
Okay, so the ballot.
I do think they've just simply gone too far, and I give them credit because they stuck with their story, and they've been absolutely persistent. Relentless and consistent.
Well, listen, it was their night to get drunk. So they had their night. It was last night, but the implications of it and the fact that if this is just beginning.
The other thing I think people don't realize is that we've had historic precedent of the Supreme Court jumping in on this type of thing where it actually affects the election for president and or even for a U.S. senator or congressman if there's some egregious things. And I think you might see something on that front in this case because depends on what the judge does. If he tries to tie Trump up more stop him from, talk about stopping a guy from running.
No, but do you think this judge is going to be soft?
He indicated he's not going to do anything like jail.
Up to 4 years, but this is his first offense.
But I'm talking about during appeal. Theoretically,
I don't know. They're talking about July 11 that he could do home confinement.
Yeah, and I think then the Supreme Court will say, no, this is it.
And then,
can you just emergency Supreme Court?
Yeah. Well, look what the judge is doing. That's one guy.
Wow, one judge.
He's.
But what does it? Can you explain to me? Because I'm still unclear. Did the judge say you only need 4 people?
Yeah,
you don't have to have a unanimous 12.
Yes, that's
it's
another
like a Chinese menu at the restaurant where you can pick your
which
crime.
is why it's an automatic reversal. But there's about 5 things that will be vacated.
Yeah,
that whole trial be thrown out. But
for free speech, gag orders and constitutional.
And then there's the question: is it really that corrupt through and through where they can't do it a little quicker? Because it really doesn't take that long. We've seen it on TV. Yeah. It's not like you have that much time that you need to go over it.
It makes you wonder, gosh, are we falling apart at the legal system? Because you have to have faith in the elections. You have to have faith in the judicial system in America. And if that starts to crumble, what happens to the republic?
Well, you can always expect some bad characters. What do they call them? Bad actors.
Yeah.
But the system is designed to catch something like this. So, and now everybody's got their fingers crossed that won't fail.
Yeah, right.
Because this isn't very controversial. This is a joke. The question is our system broken where nobody can fix it? That's the question now.
All right, it's Brother Johnny. We're going to be right back with more on this. I want to play the Megyn Kelly 2.5 minutes. Pretty poignant, pretty pointed. That's coming up in just a moment. Let's check sports headlines. Diane Ducey.
Milwaukee beat the Cubs yesterday in a day game. That final was 6-4. They've got a day game as they start up a series against the Cincinnati Reds, and Jacob Hurtubise is still on the roster.
That'd be Steve's son-in-law.
That's right.
Grace's husband. He's doing real well, Steve.
Yes, he is.
And we saw a picture of Jacob back in the day at Wrigley Field when he was, 9 years old with his
10.
parents?
Yeah, parents and his brother Alec.
So
they went to Wrigley. So he probably his first baseball game was at Wrigley, and here he is. If he plays today, he'll be out there in the incredible, iconic Wrigley Field outfield.
With the ivy in the background.
But our first game was at Wrigley. Maybe we get to play.
Okay.
Okay. Me too. When I was a ICU student, I remember being a bleacher bum.
You go and watch the game. Actually, one of my high school goals was to be able to play for the Cubs.
Okay.
But and so now Jacob's taking that for me.
There you go.
We'll live vicariously through the Cubs. But can you imagine being in the outfield in left field or something?
No, that's amazing. Yeah,
wow,
it's fun stuff.
Pretty cool.
Chicago White Sox are at Milwaukee and St. Louis in Philadelphia with your Redbird recap.
After an off day yesterday, the Cardinals returned to action this evening, opening up a 3-game weekend series in Philadelphia. St. Louis just finished taking 2 of 3 from Cincinnati, getting the club back to 500 less than 3 weeks after being 9 games under on May 11th. This weekend poses a serious challenge for the team as the Phillies have the best record in all of Major League Baseball at 39-18. Right-hander Miles Michaelis makes the start tonight. He's 3-5 with a 5.64 ERA, but the team has won each of his last 3 starts. He's 2-3 with a 4.26 ERA in 8 career appearances against the Phillies. Philadelphia will go with right-hander Aaron Nola. He's 6-2 with a 3.04 ERA. He has had good success against the Cardinals in his career, 7-3 with a 2.54 ERA. Rookie shortstop Mason Wynn will look to extend his hitting streak. He comes in having a hit in his last 18 games. First pitch from Philadelphia is scheduled for 5:40 tonight, meaning our coverage gets underway at 4:45. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Okay, so Dallas beat Minnesota 124-103 to win the
went
finals.
Nuts. Luka Doncic.
He complains a lot, but he's pretty good.
Mavericks and the Celtics will be the finals next week. So we'll be watching that. We have Illinois and Indiana State, Johnny. Illinois is number 3 seed, and number 2, Indiana State is the number 2 seed. So we have Jack Crowder on the mound in Lexington, Kentucky at 6 o'clock tonight.
Is this Big Ten tournament or
NCAA?
So they were threatening the Big Ten with not even having a show for their champ.
I think we have 3 teams.
There we go.
All right. Weather this morning brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you they work every day to improve the health of community members across the region. If you're looking for an opportunity to serve others in a supportive environment, visit carl.org/careers.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday. Nice one ahead, the last in the recent string, and it's back into chasing daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Better coverages for the day tomorrow. Lots of dry hours and minimal rainfall chances on Sunday. We'll get back into it early to mid next week and broadening window of opportunity for late next week across the area. So hang in there with back 40 and backyard work in mind. Up to 77 sun-filled skies for the day today. Increasing clouds tonight. A shower chance late, low down to 58. Showers tomorrow morning. A couple of thunderstorms in the afternoon. A high up to 73. Sunday, partly sunny, warm, more humid around 80, and a small chance for a shower thunderstorm early and late. Back into scattered showers and thunderstorms later Monday into Tuesday. They'll wind down on Wednesday. Highs at 82 on Monday. Middle 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday. 70s for highs as dry air settles in for next Thursday and Friday, and some sunshine to boot. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, Partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street's focus today turns to inflation, the PCE, Personal Consumption Expenditures Index for April. Shoppers are still buying at Costco. Its sales at existing stores rose 6% in the recent quarter, and its earnings topped forecasts. Though its revenue, the money it brings in, was disappointing, and the stock's losing ground. Costco did not reveal plans to raise its membership fee. It hasn't raised the price of a membership since 2017. Cybersecurity company Zscaler's quarter was better than expected. The stock's up more than 15%. And a major hedge fund could be going public next year. The Wall Street Journal says Bill Ackman's Pershing Square is selling a stake in the investment firm. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
It's time to take the quiz. 5 questions, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week.
History, pop culture, science, sports, civics. How much do you know? Let's find out.
Who was the first person to walk on the moon?
Jackson or something?
Neil Armstrong.
Take the quiz every weekday at thequiz.fox and then listen to the quiz podcast to find out how you did.
Play, share, and of course, listen to the quiz right now at thequiz.fox.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
All right, if you have anything to say about Donald Trump and the conviction, 34 felonies convicted on all of it. And I'm just so confused by the judge's instructions, and so was the jury. They came back 3 hours later after the first day and said, what did you say? Hour and 40 minutes, they read them again. And then they wanted to hear a couple of bits of testimony. And then the next day they said, okay, we're going home at 3:30. And everybody's packing up. The press is packing up yesterday. And all of a sudden the judge said, oh, my bad. They came to a verdict. And everyone went, huh? And so Marco Rubio, who's on the list for vice president, was in the CNN studio as the verdict came out, and they shrieked.
No, I know, that's fine.
It's just like, well, but why would you root for the demise of a human? I mean, what is a person? You don't share that kind of stuff, do you? A life has changed. In a lot of cases, it's not a great day. A family is ruined. All these other things.
They're not ruined. I'll tell you
I'm saying when people that are convicted, it's usually a really bad thing. Jonathan Turley said, usually people are so absolutely desolate when they get that verdict of guilty, like they're going to prison. Donald Trump looked like he was going to dinner. It was completely different. He was relaxed. He knew this was coming. And his attorney said he's been unbelievable. And Judge Janine said he's the strongest guy she's ever met.
I've never seen anything. I've never seen anyone attacked like that. But
how do you hold up?
I don't know.
You're 78 years old.
Churchill was like that. Winston Churchill.
Well, he wasn't very well liked either.
No.
So
but he was kind of indestructible, and that's one reason we're here is because he hung in there against the.
Well, didn't they? After the war, he was gone, right?
Yeah, they threw him out.
So 359-2255, and we had talked about this, I think probably off mic, Stevie, bringing up, what if somebody were to say not guilty? Their whole life would be ruined.
Well, there was too much pressure. And plus, they thought the two lawyers were the guys that kind of said, guys, this is it. This is what this means. We're good here. Guilty.
Mm-hmm.
To just completely control the thing. But really, if you're looking at 34 felonies.
I think that the confusion of if you agree with any four, then it's all guilty, which is completely against law, was what got a lot of jurors to say, I don't know, I've got no choice in this.
Right,
thing,
right.
I'm in on the rigged deal, and I want to go home.
Right.
But the judge isn't going to be empathetic to Donald Trump. He does not like Donald Trump, obviously. And so just the way he ruled on the thing and wouldn't allow this, but allowed this, it was a very friendly prosecution
Apparently his attitude
judge.
toward the defense the whole trial was extremely poor, and then he was always very supportive of the prosecutor.
And the instructions kind of cornered them into the guilt.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
And then he told the defense you should have objected, but they were objecting, and he'd yell at them for the objections. It was a kangaroo court. That's what that was.
I've never been served on a jury except for our On Stage with 12 Angry Jurors, which was the Henry Fonda play.
Yeah.
And, there was one pivotal juror, number 9, that was trying to convince everybody, no, I just don't feel good about this, because we were all, wanting to leave right away and, say, let's just accuse them.
That would have been Henry Fonda, the great Henry Fonda. Yeah,
and
that's
then,
a great show.
But, you're saying that if 4 were on the fence?
No, you only needed 4 people. You could pick your crime. It was
You didn't have to agree on everything, but if you had 4 and these had 4 and it came
you
up to 12.
You can add them together.
It was actually, I'm not even sure that's right. But the whole point is, it was a complete sham. And
there was no unanimous anything.
Well, the whole premise for the trial, everything from A to Z,
was pretty bad.
And it was
another text saying, how many times have you said this has gone too far, and there's no limit on how far they go?
Well, it keeps getting worse, and that's the thing. And so I don't have time. So after the news, I'm going to play Megyn Kelly 3 minutes, and you're going to hear what I think she might be right, and I don't like it. I don't like what could be coming.
Okay, I can't wait because I haven't heard it. So
I don't like lawfare. I don't think you do that. I don't think you politicize the federal government.
Okay. Well, that's how you run a totalitarian regime. Let me tell you something. The Pollock Bureau of the USSR would have been embarrassed of this display.
Of course.
They got nyet.
Oh, I know. The whole world's looking at all this.
It is.
What are those Americans doing?
And
that's actually
I
true.
have said for a year now, it won't be Joe Biden. Maybe it will be Joe Biden. I mean, at this point, do you think Gavin wants to get into this mess now? You know how much money Donald Trump raised last night?
Well, the
Lee
Ohio
Zeldin got $800,000 commitment. Another guy got $300,000. There's millions coming into Donald Trump.
Well, the Ohio snafu means they're going to probably put Biden officially in on Zoom or something.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because
he won't be
otherwise
on the
he
ballot,
won't even be in the ballot in Ohio. So I think maybe they're going to go with him. But yeah, Trump's website crashed because everybody wanted to give him money.
Listen, this has changed the focus.
No, I think that how far will they go, and this has never happened thing over and over.
Yeah.
As may have broken through yesterday, and people are like, oh man, we can't be doing
Here's
this.
another text, 53 pages of instructions, and they weren't allowed to take them into the jurors' room. A non-unanimous verdict allowed, witnesses not allowed, etc., etc. Trump probably played this woman off, but the trial was a farce.
Okay, right. We'll see here in the next half hour what you say at 217-359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line, talking Donald Trump and what happened and what it means to the country. And again, what Megyn Kelly thinks is going to happen, I don't care for, but she might be right. That's coming up next, ESPN 93.5.
Sticky nights and stuffy rooms making it hard to enjoy your home during the summertime? Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to make sure your air conditioning is working at its peak performance. Tune up your AC by joining the maintenance program and get all the perks it has to offer. Call Dogtown to come out for a no-cost quote to upgrade your system today with a Lennox high-efficiency system that will be sure to save you money on your energy bills and let you relax comfortably. Call 217-841-4728 or visit dogtownheatingandair.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Tapman's Towing team of experienced tow professionals is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm CJ Papa. Former President Trump will deliver remarks about the Manhattan jury's verdict against him in his hush money trial at 11 a.m. Eastern. His trial attorney Todd Blanche says his client didn't get a fair shake.
We've been saying for over a year that we couldn't get a fair trial in Manhattan.
Blanche on Jesse Waters' Primetime. Fox's Brooke Saintman spoke exclusively with the former president.
He tells me his eyes are still set on November, saying, quote, "We have to think about how something like this could have happened to our country. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country."
Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg says he did his job. New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney.
There can be no justice in our justice system as long as we have prosecutors like Alvin Bragg who will violate all the procedural rules and substantive rules.
The Republican on Fox and Friends First, sentencing July 11th. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, two streets in downtown Champaign closing periodically over the summer. It allows for weekend activities. The city said Market Street and Taylor Street will close to vehicle traffic every Friday between May 31st and October 20th. Market's going to close between Main Street and University Avenue, while Taylor will close between Main and Walnut Streets, forming a T-shaped closure zone. The Muhammad Seymour School District looking over new ways to deal with the growing student population. Schools have been dealing with crowded classrooms for nearly a decade, but they haven't been able to find a solution. They have two new plans. Both involve tearing down the junior high school. There have been two plans voted down in referendums. Construction of a new firehouse is underway in Urbana. Urbana Fire Department posting on its Facebook page the work began Wednesday to construct a fire station at Bradley and Goodwin Avenues in the city's 3rd Ward. That work includes the demolition of existing structures at the site. Firefighters on hand to help begin that process. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Our weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they've got a smart cycling class tomorrow between noon and 5 to learn traffic skills. You can learn more about that. Tomorrow is the Bike to Build event, too, with CU Habitat for Humanity. Good stuff as we start off June. UrbanaParks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign, Urbana this Saturday. Nice day's worth of weather ahead for the day today, last in the recent string. Getting into scattered shower and thunderstorm activity over the weekend, in particular for the day tomorrow. Lots of dry hours as warmth and humidity builds in on Sunday. And the next wave and frontal boundary expected to encroach the area in the first half of next week. Additional rainfall chances, another broadening window of opportunity for whatever you have up your sleeve for later next week, and a drop off in temperatures as well. 77 the forecast high today with sunshine, increasing clouds tonight, not so cool 58 and a shower chance late. Tomorrow mostly cloudy, showers for the morning, couple of thunderstorms the afternoon, highs up to 73. A warm and humid Sunday, partly sunny, small chance for shower thunderstorm early and late. Lots of dry hours, a high around 80, lower 80s on Monday, middle 80s Tuesday, lower 80s next Wednesday. All 3 days scattered showers and thunderstorms early and late. Back into dry time and highs in the mid to upper 70s for next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Sold.
All right, we love to hear from you. 217-359-2255. Brother Johnny's in town. I'm Stevie Jay. That's Diane Ducey. 217-359-2255. Go ahead and fire away, Diane.
Okay, well, funniest show on the radio when you guys talk about this stuff, not even getting the facts right. Not sure if it's on purpose or just to be uninformed or funny. Interesting. New York judge is so convicted, but it's Judge Alito who Democrats want to be recused because of a flag. Such hypocrisy and two-tiered justice stem.
All right, I'm going to play Megyn Kelly now, and you guys decide if she's right as to what this has done to America.
This whole scheme, and here it is the proper word, is corrupt. It's a before and after moment for America. What just happened today is a line we can't uncross. And these Democrats will rue the day they decided to use lawfare to stop a presidential candidate. I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about tit for tat. You just wait, and it won't be Hunter Biden the next time. It's going to be Joe Biden. It could potentially still be Barack Obama. It could still potentially be Hillary Clinton. We're going to have to look at what the statutes of limitations are on the various crimes they surely committed. We're going to have to look at passing laws to revive those dead crimes, felonies or misdemeanors, so that those cases can be brought out of time. That's what may be in the interests of justice, just like they did for E. Jean Carroll, with a New York State law that was passed so that she could sue him. That's what happened. Turnabout is fair play. And John Yoo, an amazing lawyer who worked in the Bush administration, Department of Justice, has a great piece out today talking about how that's the only way they'll learn. The only way to save the republic now is to give them a taste of their own medicine. That's it. That's it. They tasted blood today. They're the wolves with the bloody piece of meat in their mouths. That doesn't stop the wolf from coming back for more. The only thing that will stop him is if he loses a limb of his own. And I'm sorry, but the Democrats started this game in the same way the Republicans upped the ante when it came to, for example, the filibuster fight. The Democrats got rid of it for lower court judges. Mitch McConnell said, you will rue the day because we're going to be in control of this chamber one day and you're going to lose the filibuster at the higher level court and you'll be sorry. That's what needs to happen here. Who's getting indicted next? Joe Biden? Maybe Jill Biden. How low can we go? You may not want to see it. That ship has already left port. That horse has left the barn. That's where we're going. So before you celebrate too much over at MSNBC and CNN, who are positively gleeful over this absurd conviction, you wait and ask yourself, what kind of Pandora's box has been opened here?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a case of, as Dick has said, give me an hour after the game. She's a little bit outraged. I don't think it was any kind of milestone. They've been doing this kind of thing for 7 years. I mean, look at the Russian collusion. Look at the January 6th.
Well, I guess the bottom line is don't mess with the Clintons. I mean, you beat Hillary Clinton. That can start everything?
Well, the point Megyn was making is now the Republicans will do the same thing. That's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
The way to
You can find a crime in anybody. You can take Barack Obama to West Virginia. How would that go?
There's one way to win. Vote them out of office. Then the people who run the parties will say, this didn't work. We're not going to have any say in the matter. What are you trying to do anyway with trashing our energy program? Then it gets down to the real matters of how we live.
Yeah.
And I think that yesterday was a positive in terms of where so many people have to be to say, this is going too far. And I think it had to be something like this that maybe got through to that last level of people. But no, I don't think there's going to be any kind of lawfare era. I think we will probably have President Donald Trump again. And I think I'd mark yesterday as the kind of when I thought, hey, I think we're going to win it.
Yeah.
It's never for sure, Steve, but I think that might have been it. So, we can't do the lawfare thing, Steve. It'll just devolve.
But I'm not
into
so sure
anarchy.
that's not going to. Usually it's a tit for tat in this game. I mean,
yeah, but whenever the Republicans win, they usually overcompensate and say, "Oh, we're going to show you how to do it." And I hope they don't go far enough to put them back in power. But I don't think they're going to go get even. We can't. We don't have time to get even. Steve, we got to figure out the border problem. We got to get our energy program.
Yeah.
We got to get our act together back and give women the civil rights they deserve, like with the Title IX, so they can have their sports. And we have to just say no to trashing that.
Yeah.
And we have to get back in a little bit more respectful position across the globe.
Well, if you drill, baby, drill, the energy prices will come down. The grocery prices will come down. If you don't spend like a drunken sailor, then the inflation will come down.
That's another issue. I just can't list them all. But the climate change thing and what they want to do to our country while the rest of the world just does the same old is crazy. So inflation, I mean, it goes on. I think that the other side has shown they're a little irrational here, and not sorry about it.
217-359-2255. You always jump on the Fisher National Bank text line. All of our guests appear on the Tapman's Towing phone line. It's ESPN 93.5. I cannot resist saying this. I am a little worried, simply the ratcheting up of things, because remember, since COVID, we have a mental illness problem in America, and some people are outraged. Some of us can kind of control it a little better than others. I don't want anybody to do something crazy either, and I don't want it to get violent, but I'm telling you what, if they're willing to go to the extent of muddying the waters on so many of our foundational principles we have in the Constitution, I'm not so sure. I would be very fearful for the health of Donald Trump. You better guard him, because there's crazy people out there.
And you could say the same for Joe. I mean,
I know.
Both sides. We all have our little fringe elements. And by the way, there's some people maybe listening who would say, yeah, like you two.
Yeah, like us.
I'm not leaving you out of this, Diane.
It's okay. But here's someone that says, I hope Megan is correct. God has some kind of plan. So there's that. We've also had a text in about if anyone is still voting for Biden after this, they're just not paying attention. Someone says, I can't wait to hear John Decker's non-Republican take on this, but it's actually just kind of a neutral journalistic take.
But I mean, he's a lawyer. He can see some of the kangaroo stuff that went on in this thing.
Well, of course, the legal part of it's part of the story, but the real interesting part is what will happen from the political perspective, and where are the Democrats after making this move. And it was a move. And remember, the White House was involved, Steve, with one of the Justice Department higher-ups up there helping push this along.
He left his post at the White House to go take a job in New York City.
So from the big picture of taking out a political opponent using our justice system, which we try to have faith in, like you say, is where people are so horrified that weren't somehow before. I've been watching this for, like I say, the last 10 years, really. They've openly done things we never would have openly done. And then if you get caught, Steve, we used to say, I'm sorry, I had a great career, and I'm going to have to resign. But now it's like, no, we're going on.
Right.
You're the one. You did this. We're going to get you. So now you go back and forth. It won't work on the tit for tat.
Here's Trump supporters will not be needing a safe place like those snowflakes did years ago. Someone's also mentioning how there'll be violence at the Chicago Democratic National Convention.
I mean, are they going to
like
just
poetic justice?
Yeah, but they control that. They can move them 8 blocks away.
I don't know whether
they're going to get near the Democratic National.
Well, I think this vented a little bit of that. Anyway, that's so far down the road. We've got the Republican convention first.
But you got sentencing July 11th.
Yeah.
4 days later, you got the convention.
Yeah.
Can Donald Trump go to the convention?
I don't know what that means. I mean, who knows what that judge is going to do? And by then, we might even have somebody from the higher court say all this is blocked until after the election. Something
or
like
after the appeal. Maybe you can file the appeal within 30 days, and there'll be an appeal.
But what I'm saying is,
you can't penalize somebody until you know how it's settled. Can you? You can't say home confinement or go to Rikers prison.
I think he can, with the conviction, he can I guess he's got a lot of leeway on set.
Well, I think he twists the knife. I mean, the guy has
I don't think he will. I think,
or will it help Trump the more it is? I mean, if he were home confinement, we think
again, this has got global impact. I think the Supreme Court could weigh in. They did in Florida, Steve. That was a Florida issue, and the Supreme Court said this is enough. And they could do something like that. It's just the way the system it works. Most people don't think that'll happen. I'm a little more open to. I think somebody in the court, even maybe Roberts, will say this is.
You have to have
too far.
4 votes, 5 votes. How many votes for them to take anything up?
To take it up, but I'm not sure you can't do a stay or a block or something.
Yeah.
That somebody in the jurisprudence arena would have to tell us, but they have a lot of power.
Yeah.
These judges. You've seen so and so judge block the state of Nevada from passing this law.
Yeah.
And so it's really, the law's not taken into effect.
Well, it'll be interesting the next week to see the polling that'll be coming out because right now Donald Trump leads in every single what's called battleground states. He's very slim in Michigan, very slim in Wisconsin, like 0.1 margin of error stuff. But he's up 4 or 5 points in Georgia, Nevada, Arizona. I mean, Pennsylvania's up 3.
Well, and I think, too, going back to the frustration and the anger, I think that's why the United States is coming up on 300 years.
Yeah.
That because we can vent with these votes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why my whole issue is we have to make sure everybody believes in the vote.
Yeah, right.
Then we can say, well, we voted on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think somebody's cheating, then you really get mad. And then this is the consequences of the wrong people in office. And so that's how it all breaks down.
Well, I think you know there'll be a core of people, perhaps. I mean, you're never going to get them all. Right now, this morning, the latest thing was 24.2% of this country. 24.2% of this country believe we're on the right track.
Yeah. Well, 24.2. That's 75 don't.
Yeah, but 24%. I mean, I'd like to talk to
that high.
What is good?
Right.
What are you thinking?
Well, no. Well, the right track is one thing, but there's a lot good today in the United States. They haven't wrecked it yet. So no, I'm not there. I think we're on the wrong track.
How about another?
We're going in the wrong direction.
What if Biden wins again?
Well, we're going to continue on the track, and it could deteriorate
further.
And here's the thing about Biden winning: it isn't what he can do. It's if he wins. This is my opinion. If he wins, then it's clear. The progressives have complete control of our
and the Republicans
of our electoral system.
We'll never have a two-party thing
so
again. It would be a one-party deal.
Well,
right?
they'll take over because they'll put anybody they want in office. They've got it figured out.
Well, you see what happens when you try and shake the system. It doesn't work out very well for you. Trump was shaking the system, exposing things you're not supposed to talk about because they got a good gig. There's no question. There's deep rot inside our state.
Yes, but I think there's a moderate section that didn't like the way Trump was shaking it, but they're now saying, "Well, we've got to go with this because we can't go the other way."
Well, and someone's chiming in, Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama.
I don't know at this point because of the Johnny said tipping point. Because of that, do they want to mess with this? I mean, there might be such a surge, a tsunami.
I had surmised that there's a possibility if they convict Trump. Nobody can beat him then.
I think you might be right because I think if you said, certainly God has a plan, maybe it was to say, wake up.
And now you can say anything you want about President Barack Obama, but he's pretty smart, and he's not going to risk losing.
So another person points out,
I don't think he would do it.
Yeah.
You know, it was said by a guest, I don't know if it was Ed Martin or someone had said of the election they'd start prosecuting those who felt he wronged him if Trump won. So,
well, that's what Megyn Kelly was talking about.
Tit for tat.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen at all. I think people might lose their jobs who are embedded that keep trying to disrupt the system.
I don't know, Johnny, if
they may cut the size of government down. pretty radically.
You got a government that is so large and so anti-Trump. How can he? If everything is leaked, that every word he says comes out in it. I mean, how do you?
What now? The president of the United States. You realize they appoint all these positions,
but you have people internally that you're really.
But the people he appoints are in charge of
can
employing
there's
those people.
400,000 people. I mean,
get it down to 300,000 for crying out loud.
Well, I mean, here our own state budget was approved overnight earlier this week, and the lawmakers all get a raise. What is that?
That's
about?
called just politics. I mean, everything. Both
Politicians are making 6 digits these days.
Yeah, so
I mean, is that a gig I should look at? I have some things I need to pay.
Diane Ducey, honor and integrity.
I will say that's a tough job, guys and gals.
But what?
That is not easy, and you are trying to you're trying to make everybody happy. Right, number one, and that's impossible.
When you go to Washington, Johnny, you don't get any committees if you don't play ball.
No,
right?
it's a mess up there.
It's a mess. So Johnny's going to leave in about a few minutes. My question, the broad question, is for everybody. Is what brings us together at this point? What would possibly unite America? Because I'm not even sure the Olympics do anymore. Because, I mean, if somebody attacks us, it'll be our fault. There'll be a core 10%.
Well, the first thing I thought of was 9/11.
No, but now you'll have people say, yeah, that's right. The chickens are coming home to roost, right? I mean, all that. So I don't know if we can, I don't know what would unite America.
Well, I think, what would unite America is suddenly we had the fourth estate, which is journalism, to tell us exactly what's going on without bias. That would unite us because then we can make decisions and we'll never agree on everything.
That's but we need to know what
when you have big tech and media always pointing at someone, look what they did to you, look what they did to you. Right. Oh, look at this poor person, what so-and-so did. We're never going to be united.
Right.
And that's where I don't know how to fix that.
Well, what about my AI deal?
Right.
I said AI on the top of your screen would as they speak, it would have a meter that is green if it's true, yellow if it's in between, and red if it's a lie.
But unfortunately,
AI can do all that.
All the stuff that's coming into AI is true and false, and how do you monitor that?
Well, somebody has to program it that's not biased.
Well,
find a human that's not biased.
It doesn't exist anymore.
I need a unbiased human.
And in the end, the media wants to make money. We want to get the advertising dollars, and we need the clickbait.
Let me tell you some good news. This comes from Jesus. I'm coming back before you destroy yourselves.
Okay,
so
there you
we
go.
got that going.
All right. Well, and he'll come out. He'll come down from the sky.
Well, I mean, yes, presumably
that's what it says. So, but does he?
But we talk about how to get everybody. We're talking about heaven because we're just always going to be humans that don't agree. But the way we're playing it with this trying to pick us apart works. It's easy to do, Steve, and that's what we've seen in earnest. Oh, I'd say really for 20 or 30 years. There's always been the back and forth in the fights, but man, this effort to just divide and conquer has never seen anything like it.
Trying to keep up with some of the 359-2255 texts that are coming in, a court decision we don't agree with. Is this when conservatives are supposed to loot farm stores or lumber yards, to keep it on par with the way Democrats act? So I don't know about
that. No, right.
That,
you can't do that.
Right.
We're not doing it.
And then there's J.B. Prickster is working behind the scenes to be a nominee.
He could. I'm still saying he's the long shot, but I don't think it's going to happen now.
I think
he does have the bankroll.
But I think Joe's going to be nominated before they get to Chicago.
I think because of the ballot in Ohio problem, they have to be nominated to get on the ballot now, I guess. What happened there?
I don't know exactly.
Well, I don't think, again, if it's a tipping point yesterday, I don't think anybody wants to be involved if this is a tsunami of votes. If they're not going to win, they're not going to get in. And I think in the next 2 weeks, I'll be surprised if Trump's lead doesn't grow. But
I wouldn't be surprised. Carville's not liking it down there.
James Carville, listen to that 80-year-old man.
I'm sorry.
You don't roll right. Not walking. What are you doing?
We've got to get somebody under 70. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're right. It's and I'm right there with the old boys, but I wouldn't mind a Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Who doesn't like
Vivek?
him? Vivek.
We'll take. Hey, what do
Vivek.
you think about Tulsi? She was pretty hot about this.
No, she was. I like Tulsi Gabbard. Is she too liberal? I don't know. For vice president?
Probably in some areas,
Okay.
but you know what? You got to take the good with the bad.
Well,
so.
Criminy,
I tell you what, I'll take an honest person, and I still like Jimmy Carter for that, over anybody else that manipulates, plays us, and won't tell the truth.
Weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
And they are your premier provider for home improvements. Siding, windows, doors, roofing, outdoor living. Visit kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign Urbana this Saturday. Nice day's worth of weather ahead for the day today, last in the recent string. Getting into scattered shower and thunderstorm activity over the weekend, in particular for the day tomorrow. Lots of dry hours as warmth and humidity builds in on Sunday. And the next wave and frontal boundary expected to encroach the area in the first half of next week. Additional rainfall chances, another broadening window of opportunity for whatever you have up your sleeve for later next week, and a drop off in temperatures as well. 77 the forecast high today with sunshine, increasing clouds tonight, not so cool 58 and a shower chance late. Tomorrow mostly cloudy, showers for the morning, couple of thunderstorms the afternoon, highs up to 73. A warm and humid Sunday, partly sunny, small chance for shower thunderstorm early and late. Lots of dry hours, a high around 80, lower 80s on Monday, middle 80s Tuesday, lower 80s next Wednesday. All 3 days scattered showers and thunderstorms early and late. Back into dry time and highs in the mid to upper 70s for next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground Solutions. Are you tired of dealing with leaky faucets, basement flooding, bursting or leaking pipes? From plumbing maintenance and repairs to installing new water heaters and sump pumps, our goal is to get you up and running as soon as possible. At Lands Plumbing, we have 24/7 emergency service and a team of highly skilled professionals that will work with you to get the job done right the first time. I'm Troy Lands. You can count on my company because you can count on me.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Okay, so what we've learned today is that from our perspective, it wasn't a fair trial at all. It'll probably be overturned eventually, but probably after the election. The Supreme Court, be unusual for them to jump in if something else happens, like he's sentenced to Rikers prison.
Right.
But yeah, Johnny, I think we have to hold on to hope and believe in America and the principles that we have. And hopefully, while there are crumbling things that are occurring in our life, that God still has a purpose for us.
Well, our system was set up with these things in mind and designed to self-correct. So now we'll see how we self-correct.
Okay, so again,
we are still up on social media.
Well, I know.
Someone says Stevie isn't paying Diane 6 figures.
Maybe they've gotten too far.
None of your beeswax.
Steve, maybe they've gone too far for Google even. Who knows?
I don't know.
Or even Zuckerberg.
By the way, the 2020 election was the safest and most secure election in U.S. history.
Yeah. Thank you for getting that clause in there. So
and
we
I
can
am so
stay on
happy
social
Joe
media.
Biden is my president and Kamala Harris is my vice president.
Hey, that should cover us.
That should cover us. All right. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. Hope you're feeling better. Got a little cold going on.
A little
Thank you for
bit,
coming
but
back.
no, it's good. I got the weather up here. I got nothing to complain
nice
about.
weather. Nice
Hey,
weather.
I got knee high on May 31st.
Corn?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any corn.
Yeah.
Yet. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Where?
I haven't seen it.
You got to
There's so
drive
much
around
rain.
a little.
You've seen it, though.
Oh, no, I've seen it.
I'll be danged.
Yeah.
I thought
And
we
what
were
I want
behind.
to see is some cicadas. I don't
I don't want to see any cicadas.
I do.
I wonder.
Have them at your
Let's
house. I
bring
don't
it.
want to know.
You understand they could eat all the corn. I
They
don't
say
know.
Middle Fork Forest Preserve.
Kind of
They're so
roots
loud.
of trees.
Yeah, roots. They're okay on this on the crop.
Thank you, Johnny.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
for coming in. ESPN 93.5, the news next, another hour to go. All right, it's 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK, ESPN 93.5, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
This is a Fox News alert. We'll hear from the former president turned convicted felon in 2 hours. I'm Dave Anthony. He just posted on Truth Social, it can happen to me. It could happen to you. Again, calling the case a witch hunt, and the former president's supporters agree.
They did it to Jesus Christ and they crucified him. So it's the same thing a couple of thousand years later.
Republicans in Congress also denouncing the guilty verdict at the Trump trial in New York. House Speaker Mike Johnson tells Fox.
This is a purely political exercise, not a legal one. And everybody knows that. They know intuitively that it's wrong, and the people are outraged.
Trump lawyer Todd Blanche tells Fox they will appeal.
You're talking about a man that's been indicted 4 times in 1 year in four different jurisdictions. 4 different jurisdictions. Running for president and winning, and we're going to fight.
Sentencing is set for July 11th, days before Republicans nominate former President Trump for a Biden 2024 rematch. Now, the president's campaign put out a statement that no one is above law, and that former President Trump mistakenly believed there would be no consequences for breaking the law for his personal gain. Ex-Trump lawyer Michael Cohen, who was the prosecution's star witness, tells MSNBC.
It's accountability. It's exactly what America needs right now.
The charges against the former president centered around reimbursements made to Cohen for 2016 payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels to stay quiet about an alleged affair. As for Daniels, her husband told CNN she is still processing the news of the verdict and feels a little vindicated over the outcome.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. We just got an update to the economy. A gauge of inflation the Federal Reserve tracks closely as it keeps pausing the plan to cut interest rates. The personal consumption expenditures rose as expected 0.3% in April.
Year over year, it came in. This is the headline PCE price index, 2.7%, and that's in line with expectations and the same exact reading that we had a month ago.
Fox Business Network, Cheryl Casoni. On Wall Street, stock futures are now rising. America's listening to Fox News.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
A police officer is in recovery in Minneapolis, wounded in shootings that left another officer dead.
Outside a hospital in Minneapolis, a woman in tears held a giant flag that reads, "Blue Lives Matter."
Today, the city of Minneapolis lost a hero in police officer Jamal Mitchell.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, after Mitchell and another officer responded to a 911 call for a shooting Thursday. Police say they were ambushed by the gunman. A second police officer, a firefighter, and 2 others were wounded. The gunman shot to death and returned fire. Another civilian, also deceased. The investigation is ongoing. The 36-year-old officer, father, and fiance, just last year was recognized for heroic and life-saving efforts.
We will never forget what he did for the people of our city.
Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
6 people were shot and wounded last night in Decatur, Georgia.
This started with a dispute. 2 groups of males on foot in the area. No vehicles were involved.
DeKalb County Police Lieutenant Shane Smith. The injury is not considered life-threatening. No arrests have been made yet. Vermont has become the first state with a law that requires fossil fuel companies pay a share of damages caused by climate change after flooding last summer and other damage done by extreme weather. In the NBA playoffs, Dallas wins the West.
Doncic again, another 3. Got it! He's a flamethrower! He is on fire! 20 points!
And those 20 points were just in the first quarter. Luka Doncic scored 16 more, leading the Mavericks to a 124-103 win over the Timberwolves on TNT, eliminating Minnesota. Dallas advances to play the Boston Celtics for the NBA championship. On the ice, Florida now just a win away from the NHL Stanley Cup final. The Panthers beat the New York Rangers 3-2 in Game 5 of the battle for the Eastern Conference title. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 2 people dead. It follows a murder-suicide in Normal. Police said Matthew Moore and Amy Moore found shot to death in a home in the 3000 block of Red Jasper Street. Investigators believe Matthew illegally entered the home and confronted Amy before shooting her. He then shot and killed himself. The investigation's ongoing. City of Champaign preparing for weekend activities during the summer. The city will temporarily close Market Street between University Avenue and Main Street and Taylor Street between Walnut and Market Streets. The closures will take place today through Sunday. They'll start today and ending October 20th. A Jacksonville man is going to prison for making threats against Joe Biden. Adam Mauser was sentenced to 14 months behind bars after pleading guilty in January. Prosecutors say Mauser used social media to threaten violence against the president, his family, and an unnamed former president, Secretary of State, and various members of Congress. Have a safe, fun weekend. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, thank you, Jim Miller, ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie Jay. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
This is the last day of May.
Yes.
And you're welcome to text in on the program at 217-359-2255. Lots of you have thought this way or that about the Trump conviction. More on that coming up. Meteorologist Greg Solier with a weekend to look at. Here, what do you got, buddy?
Well, we got a little more rain, we got some sun, we got some warmth, we got some humidity. Typical late May, early June. We'll roll into the start of meteorological summertime tomorrow around here. And after this closing window of opportunity, we'll get back out there, hopefully be able to cross the T's, dot the I's, call it a planting season at some point here for the mid and late portions of next week. But between now and then, a little more rain back in the forecast. But not before another nice day ahead today. A little cirrus overhead, high-level cloud, and 63-degree reading now at Willard and Savoy, to 64 Danville, 65 Wilmington Normal, 64 for the Kankakee. And they're closing in on the 70-degree mark down towards St. Louis ways. Go a little farther west, some shower activity, Kansas City, up into parts of Nebraska. Some big rain and storms over northwestern and western Kansas the past couple of days. That is still the epicenter of the worst and ongoing dryness and drought, but it has been largely eradicated of the Corn Belt, coming at the expense of maybe some planning delays, but this too shall pass. Get out there, get it done today if you can. 77 with a mostly sunny sky. A light east-southeast wind. Clouds will thicken and lower here this evening. And not so cool tonight. Goes down to 58, and there'll be a shower coming calling well after midnight tonight. And there'll be a few showers around tomorrow morning, a break midday, and then back into maybe a couple of thunderstorms and spots tomorrow afternoon up to 73. But virtually nothing in the way of any organized thunderstorm. Isolated chance early, late in the day on Sunday. Lots of dry hours, partly sunny, warm, humid. And that's the better of the weekend days at around 80. Then we're chasing late night, early morning, late afternoon, early evening. Scattered showers, thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures 80s by day, more humidity. Nights in the 60s, and we'll dry things out next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Their deliberations led them to a unanimous conclusion, beyond a reasonable doubt, that the defendant, Donald J. Trump, is guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree to conceal a scheme to corrupt the 2016 election.
Yesterday was a sad day for America. You had a partisan witch hunt in New York. Well, I'll help President Trump in the campaign in any way they ask, in any way I can, just like I'll help Republicans win the Congress, because I think the way we help solve the American people's problems and repair the damage that Joe Biden has inflicted on the country is to elect President Trump to a second term.
This is a disgrace to the New York justice system, a disgrace as a New York lawyer to watch this complete attempt to find a verdict, not to find justice under our laws. There can be no justice in our justice system as long as we have prosecutors like Alvin Bragg who will violate all the procedural rules and substantive rules.
American people are waking up today. This verdict doesn't change the fact that they're facing higher food prices, higher gas prices, higher electricity prices. They can't afford a home.
Yep, that's a montage from yesterday on the conviction of Donald Trump in Manhattan, where it was always thought with 85% voting Biden that it wasn't going to be a fair shake. If you take Joe Biden and convict him of taking money from China eventually, and you go to West Virginia, which is about as red as you can get, or even Louisiana at this point, would you think it was fair? You're never going to find anybody who ever wanted to vote for him.
359-2255. Angie has a 1 Corinthians 2:5. My faith does not rest in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God.
That's right. That's exactly what we have and what we ought to remember. Because I am not Megyn Kelly. I played a clip from the former Fox star and now kind of podcast, I think Sirius Satellite Radio maybe. And she said, it's going to be tit for tat. We're going to go after everybody. I don't want that. As bad as this is, I'm praying it's a wake-up call to say, who's in charge? What's happened to the justice system? When is it okay to steal $999 from Meyer and nobody's going to go after you? That's just wrong. It's thou shalt not steal is a 10 commandment. Period. So, I mean, we've got to have the morals and values. We have to be one nation under God as our beacon of hope. Right. Otherwise, we go by the way of the dustpan of history if we mess this up. And you can see how much things have changed in 4 years. COVID didn't help, of course, but this is not good. There are a lot of concerns, and as the former North Dakota governor, he's the current governor of North Dakota, Doug Burgum, who's on the short list for the vice president, he said doesn't address the stuff we go to the grocery store. Everybody feels it every day. Gas prices, grocery prices. We're worried about the border that's wide open. What is the long-term ramification of 11+ million people we don't know that live here and we support? 1.1 billion in the state of Illinois alone.
Yes.
That we pay for. And the African-American community, what are you doing, man? We got needs, and you're giving them cell phones?
And our veterans that need taken care of.
There are just a lot of things, a high crime. And, of course, Alvin Bragg doesn't put anybody in jail unless it's Donald Trump. And I feel zero of a chance that this judge is going to have empathy on Donald Trump. As many times as he said a corrupt judge, this stuff comes back like that. So I expect him to...
It could get up to 4 years, and, it is a nonviolent crime, and this is his first offense.
No, it doesn't matter.
But
when you're trying to stop somebody from winning the presidency, you just go to extremes. This whole thing, and again, I'm going to have to talk to somebody smarter than me on what happened with the judge's instructions when he told them you only need 4, not 12 people, to agree. You pick your crime.
I've never heard that.
Nobody has.
Monday, July 15th in Milwaukee through the 18th is the Republican National Convention.
Yeah.
And the sentencing is on the 11th?
July 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So again, can Donald Trump even go to the Republican?
Right.
And would the Supreme Court step in an emergency situation and say enough's enough? Or
are we unprecedented times that, could he do the presidency from jail?
You can. Actually, you can.
Okay.
You absolutely can. So there is that. Okay, it is 7:13. A break. Come back. Quick sports headlines your way on this Friday, last day of May.
As Tapman's Towing celebrates 50 years of serving Central Illinois, we're always seeking good people to serve our great customers. Our team of expert tow professionals would like to interview others with CDLs, previous tow experience, or a strong interest in serving others. If you enjoy serving people, love working in the outdoors, and looking for a career, not just a job, we should talk soon. Do you have a strong desire but lack the experience? We should still talk. Visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Illini fans, join us in Memorial Stadium as we honor 100 years of tradition with $100 football season tickets. Don't miss a moment this season and lock in your tickets for Homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against the University of Michigan. Experience more cherished moments in Memorial Stadium this season and get your $100 season tickets at fightingillini.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
All right, so Gail Ferricks Trucking, you guys got any needs? You got anything to share?
Well, for drivers, right now there are a lot of trucking companies that are either shutting down or laying off drivers.
Wow.
We are not doing that. We have freight coming out our ears, and we have a couple of openings for regional and over-the-road van and flatbed drivers. They're home every weekend. We've got a family environment. We think about family as well as the work. So we're looking for a couple of drivers to bring on for that.
Awesome.
So what is the location and website?
That is 1306 Triumph Drive in Urbana. It's right down from Farm and Fleet on 45.
Yep.
And you can call Andy at 217-328-0562 or check out Dedicated Diesel on Facebook.
Check your sports headlines, ESPN 93.5. It's Diane Ducey.
Okay, Stevie. Well, we have a game today. The St. Louis Cardinals had the day off yesterday. They're gearing up for the Phillies. Let's get your Redbird recap.
After an off day yesterday, the Cardinals returned to action this evening, opening up a 3-game weekend series in Philadelphia. St. Louis just finished taking 2 of 3 from Cincinnati, getting the club back to 500 less than 3 weeks after being 9 games under on May 11th. This weekend poses a serious challenge for the team as the Phillies have the best record in all of Major League Baseball at 39-18. Right-hander Miles Michaelis makes the start tonight. He's 3-5 with a 5.64 ERA, but the team has won each of his last 3 starts. He's 2-3 with a 4.26 ERA in 8 career appearances against the Phillies. Philadelphia will go with right-hander Aaron Nola. He's 6-2 with a 3.04 ERA. He has had good success against the Cardinals in his career, 7-3 with a 2.54 ERA. Rookie shortstop Mason Wynn will look to extend his hitting streak. He comes in having a hit in his last 18 games. First pitch from Philadelphia is scheduled for 5:40 tonight, meaning our coverage gets underway at 4:45. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
Milwaukee over the Cubs 6-4 yesterday. Man, that game was back and forth. I was watching with Kyle Tosk, who's working here in the afternoons, and then on the drive with Lonte and Derek Piper. And he's a frustrated Cubs fan, let me tell you.
It's just not hitting like they normally hit. And,
well, he talks about the bullpen and...
Yeah. Well, got to go out and try and... win on Monday because I don't want them to win this week. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I got to
Cincinnati Reds are
My
Wrigley.
son-in-law's on the Cincinnati Reds. Come on, man.
Just called up a few weeks ago. Very exciting chapter.
His name is Jacob Hurtubise. I don't know if he's in the lineup today, but yeah. So I'm all in on my family.
Number 26, a center fielder, right?
Yeah, left fielder.
Left
or right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1:20 start, you'll hear the action with that series starting up over on US 105.9. And Chicago White Sox, with the day off yesterday, will be up in Milwaukee. NBA Finals had Dallas over Minnesota 124-103. So that sets up the Mavs and the Celtics on the finals on the 6th.
I think two best teams probably did make it through. So Dallas really dominated at Minneapolis. So
Illinois kickoff times announced yesterday.
What time's the for
Thursday? EIU.
Yeah.
August 29th.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. That's a school night. What the heck?
And then we've got Saturday the 7th against Kansas at 6 p.m.
Okay.
And then that Central Michigan game is going to be 11 a.m. for homecoming. I think that's September 13th or 14th.
Yeah.
And then it's that Friday, the 7 p.m. game in Nebraska. We already knew about that.
So what's Western Michigan again?
Central Michigan.
Central Michigan.
I think that's the homecoming game at 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Yeah.
So that's not much homecoming celebration stuff, but at least the Kansas game got all day.
Right.
But then at 8 o'clock for the Eastern game?
Of course, we have Illinois and Indiana State in baseball in Lexington for the NCAA tournament.
Hey, go Dan Hartlib and that
6
Illinois
o'clock.
baseball team at 6 o'clock, ESPN Plus, I think.
That's right.
All right, we check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday. Nice one ahead. The last in the recent string, and it's back into chasing daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Better coverages for the day tomorrow. Lots of dry hours and minimal rainfall chances on Sunday. We'll get back into it early to mid next week, and broadening window of opportunity for late next week across the area. So hang in there with back 40 and backyard work in mind. Up to 77 sun-filled skies for the day today. Increasing clouds tonight. A shower chance late, low down to 58. Showers tomorrow morning. A couple of thunderstorms in the afternoon. A high up to 73. Sunday partly sunny, warm, more humid around 80, and a small chance for shower thunderstorm early and late. Back into scattered showers and thunderstorms later Monday into Tuesday. They'll wind down on Wednesday. Highs at 82 on Monday. Middle 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday. 70s for highs as dry air settles in for next Thursday and Friday, and some sunshine to boot. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The Personal Consumption Expenditures Index for April rose 0.3%, and core PCE, excluding food and energy, rose by 0.2%. For the year ending in April, the PCE rose 2.7%, and core PCE, excluding food and energy, rose 2.8%. Both matched March's readings. Also, Americans made more in April. Personal incomes rose 0.3%, but personal spending rose just 0.2%. People are still buying from Costco. Its sales at existing stores were up 6% in the recent quarter. Earnings top forecast, but Wall Street was expecting a stronger revenue number. Costco did not reveal plans to raise its annual membership fee. Costco has not changed it since 2017. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Well, Busey knows the importance of a lasting promise. Busey's been around over 155 years now. And Busey's pleased to offer financial support toward continuing education endeavors to applicants of all ages and educational backgrounds through the Busey Bank Bridge Scholarship. Through the Busey Bank Bridge Scholarship Fund, $25,000 in scholarships will be awarded. 10 people will get $2,500 each. The scholarships can be used for tuition, fees, books, or supplies for continuing education. The application deadline is coming up Monday, so get on it now. Go to Busey.com/scholarship. Why wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. You might get $2,500. Why wouldn't you try?
That's right.
All the instruction is there, what you need to write, what they need to know about you, and you might get a call at the end of June saying, here's your money. Scholarships can be used again for tuition, fees, books, or supplies for continuing education. The application deadline again Monday. Applicants will be required to meet specific eligibility requirements, complete details at the Busey Bank Bridge Scholarships eligibility criteria and application process. Again, Busey.com/scholarship. Micah McMahon is here. Law enforcement torch run. I thought that was until June 6th, Micah. What the heck is that's next week?
I know.
What?
Well, there's a lot of preparation involved in that, Stevie.
Micah, what is the torch run? Why are you so involved?
Well, the Law Enforcement Torch Run, it's a movement that's dedicated amongst law enforcement across the entire state of Illinois, where we raise money for Special Olympics here in Illinois. So we're known as the Guardians of the Flame. So.
I love it.
Yes.
Why? Why do you do it?
Why do I do it? I love assisting these athletes. It's a great balance to the work that I do. It's a great cause. The money we raise goes towards ensuring that these athletes get free participation in sports. It's just a great cause that does a lot to educate these individuals that have disabilities.
Well, we're appreciative of your efforts to do all this, and we hope to raise a lot of money. How can people give money?
Well, there's lots of ways to donate. We do have a website, SOILL.org, and there's a lot of ways to be able to contribute or even volunteer through that website. And I, highly recommend that anyone that's listening check that out. But we do have a big event coming up next week that we've been planning quite a while for, and we're excited about.
So we start in Fisher between 5 and 5:30 for my national anthem, Micah.
Oh, and I can't wait.
I don't know how you sweet talk me into this.
Wait, it's 5 or 5:30 p.m., right?
A.M.
Oh, yeah. Bright and early. So,
heck, well, we're going to need a little time to do all this, right?
Well, we do like to start it early, and that kind of keeps it so it's not too hot for our runners, because basically this is our namesake event. This is the actual Law Enforcement Torch Run. We're going to be running over 30 miles, starting in Fisher, as Diane said. So
that's quite a ways.
Yes, we're going to run across the entire, pretty much most of the county.
Yeah.
And this is going to be officers from across the Champaign County, local officers as well, from Fisher, Rantoul, Urbana, U of I, Champaign County, Parkland PD. So we have a lot of departments that are involved in this. And we're looking forward to this because it's a lot of great participation. We're going to have a lot of stops along the way, too.
There is an actual torch that you're carrying?
Absolutely. It's going to be
heavy
lit
is
up.
it? Heavy?
It's okay. It probably feels heavier the longer you run, too. So
yeah, I bet. Okay, so next Thursday you wake up at 61 degrees for the high of 76.
I'll take that.
Yes.
We've had much hotter days.
Well, and we've had rainy conditions, too. I think that was the case last year where we were in and out of our cars, and I had the sound system, and it's electric, and that was a concern for me.
Yes.
But, of course, my son Aiden has been a Special Olympic athlete over the years. And I've seen you at, the polar plunge and all these different events supporting the Region I athletes. Let's talk about the Special Olympics. And I know the leadership skills and just the camaraderie. And it's totally free for our athlete.
Absolutely. I mean, we have numerous athletes that get a lot of extra. I love that you mentioned the leadership skills. They get put through a training class that helps teach them how to help represent their other athletes and be a voice, because we try to include them as much as we can in all of our events. So.
And I see that as Guardians of the Flame for nearly 23,000 athletes with intellectual and other physical disabilities, there are 18,000 young athletes of Special Olympics Illinois. And, of course, the hub being in Bloomington, I feel like the torch does come in there in mid-June then, and, that's the epicenter. And I've seen the torch come in and how moving that is on opening ceremonies.
And that's actually on Friday, which will be the day after our event. So that's what it all culminates in, was that Summer Games event. So it's
really, I just got goosebumps thinking about it. Fellow Unity grad Dave Breen, in charge of the Special Olympics for years, has retired
He
now.
did. It was sad to see him go, but I will say the new president that has stepped up, Peter Delvecchio, he has done a great job filling in those shoes, and we look forward to a continuing partnership with him. So.
And also a little golf outing coming up August 2nd, in case you'd like to continue that. And that's at Orange and Blue in Savoy.
Absolutely.
And I just love that golf outing, too. So be a part of that, too. And again, SOILL.org for details on all of this.
Micah McMahon, thanks for being a corrections officer, Champaign County Jail.
Yes.
Thank you also to your wife, Melissa, who teaches at Urbana High School.
Here.
Who would have the harder job? I think it's both challenging to be a teacher these days. Thank you for doing what you do. And Micah, thank you for what you do.
Yes.
As a law enforcement corrections officer. Again, you both do jobs I couldn't do. So thank you.
Thank you for your support, Stevie.
We appreciate everything you do for Special Olympics Torch Run coming up again. What's that website again?
It's SOILL.org.
All right, back in a moment. News next, ESPN 93.5. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Chris Foster. Donald Trump, the first former president, maybe future president, to be a convicted felon, addresses supporters at 11 a.m. Eastern Time from Trump Tower in New York. House Speaker Mike Johnson on Fox among the Republicans coming to his defense.
Because President Trump is crushing Joe Biden in the polls, they see the Democrat Party and the left so desperate to stop him that they'll risk the destruction of our entire legal system to do it.
Sentencing is set for July 11th, 4 days before the Republican National Convention. A Minneapolis police officer is killed in an ambush responding to reports of a shooting.
When officers arrived, they received gunfire immediately, and they exchanged gunfire.
Assistant Police Chief Katie Blackwell, the suspect is also dead, so is someone found at the scene. In addition to the police officer, 2 other civilians, another police officer, and a firefighter are shot and wounded. They are expected to survive. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. City of Champaign preparing for weekend activities during the summer. The city will temporarily close Market Street between University Avenue and Main Street and Taylor Street between Walnut and Market Streets. The closures will take place today through Sunday. They'll start today and ending October 20th. A Jacksonville man is going to prison for making threats against Joe Biden. Adam Mauser was sentenced to 14 months behind bars after pleading guilty in January. Prosecutors say Mauser used social media to threaten violence against the president, his family, and an unnamed including former President, Secretary of State, and various members of Congress. 2 people dead. It follows a murder-suicide in Normal. Police said Matthew Moore and Amy Moore found shot to death in a home in the 3000 block of Red Jasper Street. Investigators believe Matthew illegally entered the home and confronted Amy before shooting her. He then shot and killed himself. The investigation's ongoing. Have a safe, fun weekend. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign, Urbana, Saturday. Nice day's worth of weather ahead for the day today, last in the recent string. Getting into scattered shower and thunderstorm activity over the weekend, in particular for the day tomorrow. Lots of dry hours as warmth and humidity builds in on Sunday. And the next wave and frontal boundary expected to encroach the area in the first half of next week. Additional rainfall chances, another broadening window of opportunity for whatever you have up your sleeve for later next week, and a drop off in temperatures as well. 77 the forecast high today with sunshine, increasing clouds tonight, not so cool 58 and a shower chance late. Tomorrow mostly cloudy, showers for the morning, couple of thunderstorms the afternoon, highs up to 73. A warm and humid Sunday, partly sunny, small chance for shower thunderstorm early and late. Lots of dry hours, a high around 80, lower 80s on Monday, middle 80s Tuesday, lower 80s next Wednesday. All 3 days scattered showers and thunderstorms early and late. Back into dry time and highs in the mid to upper 70s for next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Katie Harmon with Continuum of Care Coordinator for the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission. Katie, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to have you on. I know that there's been a rise in Champaign County homelessness. What's happening out there? Why is this happening?
Yeah, so we recently compiled all of our data from our annual point-in-time count. And so that's really a point in time in January where several volunteers kind of go out throughout the community in Champaign-Urbana to identify people who are both unsheltered, experiencing homelessness, and as well as those who are residing in emergency shelters and transitional housing programs. And so we did find a total of 279 people this year during our point-in-time count, and that is up from 215 in 2023. So there was a bit of an increase.
That's a significant increase. That's a lot.
Yeah.
More. So do you count heads, or do you actually get to know who they are?
Yeah. So we do training for volunteers, and then when we approach people on the street who are unsheltered, we kind of explain, who we are and what we're doing, and then have a conversation, learning more story, their situation. Some people are very open, some a little more guarded, which is understandable. But then we also provide a food gift card for their participation if they're willing to chat with us, and as well as resources, to other shelters and programs in the community if they're interested in those. So we do, some people share quite a bit of information and, share if this is their first time they've been homeless or if they've been homeless before and kind of the reasoning leading up to that. It's a privilege to be able to talk to people and for people to be open and chat with us about their situation.
Was there a common theme, Katie, as far as the why? What's happened?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of multiple factors. I think a huge factor is the rising cost of housing, as well as inflation, and just the growing disparity between people's income and then the just everyday living costs. The rise in homelessness is not unique just to Champaign County. It's happening nationwide. So that is a trend that many communities are seeing. I also think there was a lot of pandemic-related assistance that was available, and most of that has ended. So different rental assistance programs related to pandemic relief, those programs are no longer in place. And then I also just wanted to add, too, we have, over the years, this is something we do every year, our point-in-time count, and we have kind of gotten better at our, approach and methodology. So we did some things differently this year. And so, and we had an increased number of volunteers participating. So I do think we're able to go to more areas and speak to more people. So I do think that was a part in the increase as well. So, but again, I think it's a combination of the factors I just mentioned.
I know that it's very hard to know, but do you know, because you have to be evaluated, you have to know a little history and all that, but any concept as to mental illness, addiction, heavy on all of it. I mean, do you have any idea of out of 279, how many just ran out of money and how many have a lot of issues?
Yeah, I think you're right in terms of, yes, there are people who their homelessness is exacerbated by mental health concerns, by physical health concerns, maybe by substance abuse concerns. And so, yes, I do think that's a factor, but I also think that just the lack of affordable housing and more systemic issues such as that do also play a huge part. And we, I think it's a mix. I think there's people who, had a medical issue or, were no longer able to work, and that has affected their housing stability and resulted in their homelessness. And I think other people who, are experiencing chronic homelessness and have a variety of different barriers and issues going on, and they've been homeless for quite some time. So I think it's, it could be episodic, but then also could be chronic. So it's really a mixed bag in terms of reasoning.
Katie, is there any way you can't make somebody go get shelter? You can't say, hey, there's a bed over here. You can't make them. It's all voluntary, correct?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
And what would you have us do? What can our listeners do? What can we do to help this situation, Katie?
I think the best thing is our group, the Continuum of Service Providers of the Homeless, we're a consortium of over 40 different organizations and individuals who are really vested in addressing homelessness in Champaign County. Our meetings are open to anybody that wants to attend, and we have several key priority areas that we're focusing on over the next few years. So if people are interested, I recommend they contact me. I can share information about our meetings and just kind of gauge what their interests are, and then I can help connect them if they want to, volunteer for an organization or just learn more about the issue here in Champaign County. I think attending our meetings is a great first start to make those connections.
Well, I see that's coming up the first Tuesday of every month at 3:00. Where does that take place for the Continuum, Katie Harmon?
Yeah, so right now, most of our meetings are held remotely over Zoom, but we do hold 2 meetings a year in person. So our next meeting is Zoom, but our next, I believe, in-person meeting will be in August, and normally we try and incorporate some kind of training for our membership for those in-person meetings. So, but for next month, we're meeting over Zoom.
Well, appreciate what you guys do, and it's good to know just so we can address it. But Katie Holmes, I appreciate it. How can people contact you?
Sure. People can contact me. My number is 217-239-5942, or people are welcome to email me at kharmon, HARMON, @ccrpc.org.
Hey, thanks for your work. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. ESPN 93.5, Champaign County Continuum of Service.
With the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission, so that's ccrpc.org.
Yeah. Continuum of Service Providers to the Homeless. Katie Holmes on the Tapman's Towing phone line. All right, ESPN 93.5, 841. When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champaign, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars. They're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champaign. Visit Sarah, SERRA, champaign.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Illini fans, join us in Memorial Stadium as we honor 100 years of tradition with $100 football season tickets. Don't miss a moment this season and lock in your tickets for Homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against the University of Michigan. Experience more cherished moments in Memorial Stadium this season and get your $100 season tickets at fightingillini.com.
I talked a lot about Donald Trump and the 34 convictions and how unfair I believe it was, and that I believe it'll be overturned, but it's going to be some time. And sentencing going to be fascinating in the midst of a presidential election, what the judge will do on a first offender. And again, some of the things that went on, you're going, I didn't know you could do that. Particularly the part about the jurors just picking, get 4 people together and pick a count, picking a criminal act, and we'll go ahead. I'm confused by
Never heard of that kind of process.
I don't think it's, nobody has. So the judge's instructions kind of meant there was going to be a conviction. Happened, I thought, pretty quickly for 34 counts. Anyway, 217-359-2255, a texter said.
Did you have a problem when Rod Blagojevich was arrested and ultimately convicted of his crime?
Yeah, I kind of did, actually, because, well, first of all, yeah, he got taped talking crazy.
But it was the culture that we lived in.
Well, it's a culture north of I-80. Mm-hmm. It was like Rod got kind of, I think, a little arrogant about it and too reckless and careless. Mm-hmm. But you're telling me that's not happening every day in Chicago? When Rod Blagojevich would call and say, I want to get a student at the University of Illinois, I ticked a lot of people off when he said, you're taking the call. He's controlling the budget. Oh, you take the governor's call because his nephew from his, that nephew thing wants to go to U of I and you're going to get him in.
I know.
It's just, listen, there's things that go on. And the thing about Donald Trump and this thing was, wait a minute. Is that all you got on him? You got a business fraud and it was a misdemeanor that you made into a felony? And you somehow wanted to say that he did this to win the election in 2016? What about paying? There's zero against having a non-disclosure and paying somebody to not talk. A shame on him for getting involved with Stormy Daniels. That's bad. Mm-hmm. But it's not illegal to do a non-disclosure and paying people money not to talk. And then you're talking about the connection about a conspiracy to sway the. Maybe he didn't want his family to be humiliated and embarrassed. Maybe his reputation was part of the payoff. He didn't want all that out there. Oh, no, you did it to sway the election. I didn't see anything proven. Listen, this was not fair. It is not equal justice under the law. Right. You can get about 1,000 businessmen today convicted of all of that in New York. It isn't fair. And I think there's a fairness in America. And I believe a tipping point was hit yesterday afternoon at 4:30 Eastern time when the verdict came down. I believe that there's going to be some states that have been blue that will flip red this time. And I don't know if anybody can stop it at this point, because remember when Bill Clinton was impeached and all the empathy went to Bill Clinton with Monica Lewinsky and lying and all that? Empathy goes to the one that looks like, we make a martyr out of them. So I hope that the Republicans don't tit for tat. I don't want this. I think it's bad to politicize and then weaponize my government that I'm paying for. That's really bad and very dangerous, as we're seeing. And then there are those that are gleeful today, and that's you celebrate a win. You
since
won.
Blagojevich was brought up, I did an online search, and he stood up for Trump yesterday, and one of the quotes is, "I love Trump more than ever today," says Blagojevich in a post.
Trump commuted his sentence because
when
Trump
you've
saw
lived
that
through
wasn't
this
fair.
yourself,
Yeah.
but you try to recognize that when they do it to somebody else, this political fix was in from the beginning. Disgraceful and corrupt convictions of leading candidates from the opposition party with a hand-picked, politicized Democratic judge who denied a former president a chance to put on a defense and allow ridiculously unlawful jury instructions. The Democratic judge and those Democratic prosecutors ought to do right in effing jail for what they are doing to our democracy and our country, says Rod Blagojevich on X, formerly known as Twitter.
847.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy.
your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You just have to think there's no reasonable doubt when the judge donates to Joe Biden, his daughter raises money on the trial, Michael Cohen sells T-shirts, and his goal is to ruin Donald Trump, and he's a felony himself, perjurer,
right.
and he admitted stole money from Donald Trump. He stole money, so that's enough integrity to say I believe him. It is truly what the definition of a kangaroo court is, or some banana republic. You go, and that's not America. And I don't want you to go after Barack Obama or Joe Biden. In fact, I just don't want that. There have been. And I think that's part of the protection of the deep state. I do believe there's stuff inside there you don't want to know about that have gone on for a very long time, and you have a disruptor that got elected, and you never want to beat Hillary Clinton. I think they've shown that. They did the Russia thing that she did for 3 years, and how many times was he dragged into different things, and he didn't do anything. It was a fake. That's been proven. So it is just not fair. And I think America still knows what fair is. You want the ball game to be called equitably and fairly. And if it's not, I believe we react. And I think it was a tipping point. We'll see what happens. Check your weather, meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday. Nice one ahead. The last in the recent string. And it's back into chasing daily outbreaks of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Better coverages for the day tomorrow. Lots of dry hours and minimal rainfall chances on Sunday. We'll get back into it early to mid next week, and a broadening window of opportunity for late next week across the area. So hang in there with back 40 and backyard work in mind. Up to 77 sun-filled skies for the day today. Increasing clouds tonight. Shower chance late low down to 58. Showers tomorrow morning. A couple of thunderstorms in the afternoon. A high up to 73. Sunday partly sunny, warm, more humid around 80, and a small chance for shower thunderstorm early and late. Back into scattered showers and thunderstorms later Monday into Tuesday. They'll wind down on Wednesday. Highs at 82 on Monday. Middle 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday. 70s for highs as dry air settles in for next Thursday and Friday, and some sunshine to boot. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers, bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Okay, so number one, great night to go to the Farmer City Raceway.
Farmer City Racing. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge. It's only $15, and veterans get a discount, and kids 12 and under are free. It is a slice of Americana there, Stevie. That dirt track is so fun. Hot laps start at 6:30. There's all the campers around the track. It'll be great tonight for Lance's team. FarmerCityRacing.com for details on that. Of course, we've got our market at the square that was just mentioned. CU Market at the fair. At the fairgrounds is 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow with over 30 vendors. People, when I'm out and about, have been asking about our Name the Starting Five players, especially since we've seen some newcomers this week.
Well, good luck to you.
From all over the world, too.
Yeah.
Are we judging from how they spell the names?
Well, we got Lithuania and Croatia on the ball club.
Yes, we
so
do.
Yeah, and you're lucky I don't have to make you spell it correctly. But if you want to go to StevieJay.com, you get all the details. You could win $3,000.
That's right. Thanks to Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, Thomas & Ellers Insurance, and the U of I Golf Course, the orange and blue course there in Savoy.
I like having a contest where the guy in charge of it doesn't know either. Brad Underwood has no clue who his starting five will be.
There's no inside scoop on
this.
this.
No, there's nothing. He doesn't know. And that's what I told him that a couple months ago, and he said it's impossible.
I know.
You can't name that. Nobody knows it. Anyway, fun times. You can enter at StevieJ.com. You have till June 30.
And we have Illinois baseball in action at 6. Always fun to watch these games at Pia's with fellow fans. It's coming out of Lexington, Kentucky, and this is the first round of the NCAA tournament. As a number 3 seed, we're taking on number 2 seed Indiana State.
Get them. Let's go.
Jack Crowder on the mound.
Okay,
6-2 on the season.
That's our guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we need to start popping a few home runs. Kind of went dry during the Big Ten tournament. Let's get that power back.
5:40 for the St. Louis Cardinals in Philadelphia here on ESPN 93.5 with Miles Michaelis on the mound. And we've got Cincinnati Reds visiting Wrigley for the Cubs.
Can't wait to ask my son-in-law, Jacob Hurtubise, what's it like to run around Wrigley Field with the ivy and the iconic. It's like Boston Red Sox and Fenway.
I know.
It's Fenway and Wrigley as far as iconic, not those fancy new stadiums.
That's right.
That's a cool place to see a ball game. I can't imagine getting me on the field, too.
Hear the game at 1:20 on US 105.9. I believe day game or evening game Saturday, day game on Sunday.
That's correct,
so that's why I'm looking at it.
All right. Thank you, Diane. I just urge everybody to pray, connect with God, have that peace that transcends all understanding, and it'll be a lot easier in some of the times ahead. So thank you.
And you can hear the show anytime at StevieJay.com. Enjoy your weekend.
That's it. Diane Ducey, thank you. You as well. I'm Stevie J. We'll meet again Monday. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed weekend.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise. But Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change your car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Escape the ordinary and embark on an unforgettable adventure with Stevie Jay Travel with Larry and Elena Kemper. Hi, it's Stevie Jay. Picture yourself aboard a small yacht departing from the enchanting city of Dubrovnik, Croatia. As the gentle breeze carries the scent of the Adriatic Sea, you'll set sail